UFC 217, Michael Bisping vs Georges St-Pierre. Live results recaps and analysis. The UFC has returned to Madison Square Garden for the second time with an impressive card featuring 3 title fights. Joanna Jedrzejczyk will face Rose Namajunas for the women's strawweight title, Cody Garbrandt will square off with TJ Dillashaw for the bantamweight belt, and, in the main event of the night, Michael Bisping will attempt to defend his middleweight belt against UFC legend Georges St-Pierre. Before we get to those fights, however, we have one other fight, between Thomposton and Jorge Masvidal. That action is on now. For fans of the women's side, Saturday offers another look at what has so far been an unstoppable Jedrzejczyk. Known better as simply Joanna, the undefeated Polish fighter, 14-0, has the speed of a sprinter and the stamina of a distance runner, as proven in her last 4 fights, which all went the full 25 minutes. If she beats Namajunas, 6-3, as expected, she'll tie Ronda Rousey for the most consecutive UFC women's title defenses with 6. You've got to wonder what went through the head of Hendricks every time he saw a UFC 217 fight poster, and there was Georges St-Pierre staring back at him. The last time GSP was in a UFC fight, Hendricks brutalized him. St-Pierre won a decision, though, to retain the welterweight belt that night back in 2013, but immediately afterward he walked away from the sport, mentally bruised. And within 3 months, Hendricks was wearing 170-pound gold. 4 years later, Big Rig was in the main card curtain jerker, deep beneath the St-Pierre main event, trying to resuscitate his career. It didn't work out for him, as Costa stalked him from the start and in the end was chasing him around the octagon with punches. Hendricks, 18-9, looked less like a middleweight than a welterweight who simply couldn't make weight, while the big Brazilian was a dangerous Adonis. Costa, 11-0, had finished all but one of his previous 10 opponents in the first round, 9 by KO. He's a runaway train. Hendricks represented a step up in competition, and he put him away with confidence. Meanwhile, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson is in the building. He seems excited. Michael Bisping vs Georges St-Pierre. After his 4-year hiatus, St-Pierre is ready to return at a higher weight class, and is favored, albeit only slightly, over Bisping, 37, who has won his last 5 bouts. As far as what to expect, it's hard to say. St-Pierre, who trains partly with gymnastics, has been gone for so long, so there's not real telling what his technique might be at this point. Bisping will likely bring his usual flurry of strike-heavy action. St-Pierre will probably want to avoid the clinch. Cody Garbrandt vs TJ Dillashaw. Garbrandt and Dillashaw are likely to bring fireworks to this card. Garbrandt, the current champ, comes with an 11-0 record. 9 of those victories came via knockout or TKO due to punching, reflecting his 31-1 record as an amateur boxer. Dillashaw, 14-3, brings with him a serious wrestling background, but hasn't been dependent on that for many of his wins, several of which came due to punches and kick-punch combinations. Bookmark this page and check back often for results, analysis and more. Full card. Main card, 10 p.m. ET. Pay-per-view. Michael Bisping vs Georges St-Pierre. Cody Garbrandt vs TJ Dillashaw. Joanna Jedrzejczyk vs Rose Namajunas. Stephen Thompson vs Jorge Masvidal. Johnny Hendricks vs Paulo Costa. Prelims results. James Vick Def. Joe Duffy via TKO. Punches. Round 2. 4:59. Ovince Saint Preux Def. Corey Anderson via KO. High kick. Round 3, 125. Randy Brown Def. Mickey Gall via unanimous decision. 29-28. 29-28. 29-27. Early prelims results. Curtis Blaydes Def. Aleksei Oleynik via TKO. Dr. Stoppage. Round 2, 156. Ricardo Ramos Def. Aiemann Zahabi via KO. Spinning elbow. Round 3, 158.